NFLExperts. The first time we're going live, so since it's only a 15-minute episode, let's get started. First, we're going to be talking about the NFL draft. Okay, Louie, I know a few people think that Robert Griffin III is going to go first overall to the Colts. What's your opinion on that?
I am one of the people that think Robert Griffin III will be drafted first. I think in this league we need mobile quarterbacks to succeed. If you look at Cam Newton's rookie season last year, he set records with over 13 touchdowns rushing. So I think with Griffin, he has a better arm. He has better legs. Even though Luck does remind me a lot of Cam Newton with his mobility, I just think Robert Griffin III is better to have. So I think the Colts would just be better going with him.
But I think Luck, because Luck's more of an NFL quarterback and he can run an offense better than Griffin can. And I don't think that the Colts really need a mobile quarterback. I think Luck's just a better fit for them.
That's a good point. Okay, so we are going to now talk about who we think a certain amount of players, a couple players we want to talk about are going to be drafted. So we got Trent Richardson, Justin Blackman, Michael Floyd, and Quentin Copas. But first we're going to go live. We have a caller in, and we're going to be talking to Christian Durham on Twitter. And we're going to be asking him if we think what he thinks the Philadelphia Eagles will draft and what he thinks about the bounty on the Saints. Hi, you're on air.
What's good, Eagles Nation?
What's up? How you doing?
So, I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic, actually. I'm really excited about the draft. Since the Eagles went ahead and they traded for a linebacker, I got kind of confused, but I still think that when push comes to shove, if he's still available, I think we'll take the kid Poe out of Memphis. I mean, the dude's an absolute stud. He's a run stopper, and with him combined with Cullen Jenkins, I think it'd be unstoppable. I think already we have like the best front four, but with him, it would be lights out.
Yeah, I agree. I think with Mike Patterson is the other guy on the other end. In the middle. I think with the re-signing D'Amico Ryans, I don't think they'll pursue linebacker. Maybe in the later rounds, but I agree that's a good problem to have for the Eagles. So who do you think the Eagles will go if they do not go defensive tackle? What are the positions you think we need?
I really think, everybody keeps saying that our safety position is fine with Nate Allen and Kurt Coleman, but I still think we're suspect on the back end. I think we have great corners, but as far as our safeties go, I think we're still weak in coverage. I like the kid, Mark Barron. He's out of Alabama. This guy lays the wood, and from what I've seen, he's great in coverage as well. I'd love for the Eagles to take a safety. I know we've taken a safety a couple times in the last few years, but if it hasn't worked out, it hasn't worked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good point, but I like our youth at safety. I think with Nate Allen, Kurt Coleman, and Jaquan Jarrett, we have a lot of promise. But that's a good point. So hey, we're gonna be. Okay.
Well, yeah. Also, I know Louie over here. He wants Brian Dawkins back. So if that doesn't happen, safety would really help him out.
Yeah, Dawkins brings great leadership. He's a veteran.
Eagles green.
Yeah. So what do you think about the Saints bounty? How do you think the Saints are gonna work out this year?
I think they'll still be okay. They're not going to be as bad as everybody suspects, but I think it's going to hurt them a little bit, especially those draft picks of the future. And just not having any leadership. Drew Brees and Sean Payton seem to go hand in hand. So one without the other, I don't think it's going to be as smooth as everybody expects, but they still have Spagnuolo floating around. And, I think they'll come together. They won't be a Super Bowl contender, in my opinion, but they'll still be a playoff contender.
Okay, hey, thanks for joining us. Hey, we got a quick question for you before you go. What week do you predict Tim Tebow will start by this regular season?
Ooh, great question. I predict week 6.
6? Okay, yeah, I'm also like that. And okay, thanks for calling. Now we got another caller.
All right, so thanks
for having me, guys.
Okay, hi, you're live on air. What's your name?
This is Mike from Pittsburgh. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Hanging in there. Hey, I heard the last callers talking about Poe, the defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, all he is a workout warrior. At the Combine, he put up some incredible stats, but if you ever watch this guy on tape, he's an average conference at best, and he's really not, if you watch him closely, he doesn't do anything spectacular. spectacular. Yeah, he weighs 350 pounds, and he can bench press, 225 pounds 40 times or whatever. But if you do some game tape on him, it's really not that impressive.
I can continue.
No, and as far as I guess you're an Eagle fan.
Yeah, I'm an Eagles fan, but my co-host right here, he's a Buffalo Bills fan, so we're all mixed up here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a Cowboys fan.
Oh, we got some competition going on here.
You know what? It's gonna be a very interesting division this year because you got the champs coming back and the Giants. You got the Redskins with Robert Griffin. The Eagles on paper they always look good, but we know what happens. When they get in the playoffs, what happens to them.
That's true.
Of course, you always you got the drama in Dallas with Romo, so it should be a real interesting division this year coming up.
All right. Now I know that. What do you want the Cowboys to do in the draft now?
I want the Cowboys to draft. Their biggest needs are on the offensive line and in the secondary. Now they did get the one cornerback from Kansas City, Brandon Carr, is a free agent. So I'm thinking they're looking at offensive line and also, I'd like to see another safety back there.
Do you think that after this year, if Tony Romo does not get it done, do you think that the Cowboys, Jerry Jones, will pursue someone else, maybe next year in the draft or in free agency?
I think you have to start. Well, they got Kyle Orton now as their backup. They did sign Kyle Orton, but it's getting to that point where you can draft someone for the future. Romo puts up some great statistics, but I'll be the first to admit, as a Cowboy fan, I don't feel too confident when it comes down to the end of the game. You're always thinking in the back of your mind that he's gonna, do something stupid. So to answer your question, I would say I'm giving him a few more years, but yes, I would draft someone maybe to groom for the future.
All right. Okay. You want to say something, Lou?
Yeah, I was going to ask you too, since knowing you are a Cowboy fan. This is more about the Eagles and the Cowboys rivalry. Do you think with the Redskins? This isn't really about the rivalry, but it's kind of the NFC East rivalries. Every team has a great rivalry, but with the Redskins most likely getting Robert Griffin III, unless the Colts pull a move on him, do you think that the Redskins can get in on this division race?
Not this year, because he's going to be a rookie quarterback. But I say in 2 years, yes. To answer your question, because he's a talent. He's like a Michael Vick. He's just like a Michael Vick, but a little bit bigger. And he's going to be a rookie, so he's going to struggle. But in 2 years, definitely I see the Redskins being right up there.
Yeah, good point. I would also not having them in the race too, because even if they have Robert Griffin III, they don't really have much defense, or running back really. And they did sign Josh Morgan and Pierre Garçon to help out the receiving game, but other than that, they don't really have much.
Yeah, and plus they have that penalty they got from the NFL, the 36 million. But from what I've seen, that Jerry Jones and Snyder are going to try to fight it in court. But that really hurt them in free agency. They couldn't bring in the players they wanted because they got that big penalty.
Yep, that's a good point. Defense, really. I mean, London Fletcher. I don't really seeing him return. I want to see more out of Arakpo. He did have a pretty good season, but I think they need to get more on defense. Now that they lost LaRon Landry, I think they need to pursue safety, maybe in the draft, second round, or free agency. But hey, thanks for joining us here. It was great talking to you. Mm-hmm.
Hey, can I answer your guys' question?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the question about Tim Tebow?
Yeah. This was how long? I forgot to ask you that. What week do you think you see Tim Tebow starting by?
I don't think you are going to see him start. I think you're going to see both him and Sanchez playing together, where Sanchez plays his role, and then you bring in Tebow, like in the Wildcat or special formations. I don't see him starting. I see them both playing significant time. And if it works, I think the Jets are going to be really good this year because of Tim Tebow's influence on the locker room. The guy's a winner wherever he goes, and I think it's even going to have an effect on Sanchez. It's going to make Sanchez a better quarterback too. and then you'll see Tebow coming in, in short yardage, down at the goal line, to run that wildcat or whatever they're going to do.
Well, I feel that Mark Sanchez isn't going to do what the fans want. I know they already got a Tebow billboard up, and the same thing's going to happen what happened last year in Denver. Fans are going to want Tebow, and he'll go in and do the same thing as last year. That's what I feel.
Okay,
how old are you guys?
We are 17. I am 17, and he is 15.
Hey, you guys got a bright future. I like your show, and I can see you guys going somewhere.
Thanks a lot. Hey, if you want to check out more, go to youtube.com/NFLExperts. But yeah, thanks for joining us. It was fun talking to you.
Have a good one.
You too. Okay, so that's some pretty good points by the two callers we had. But now me and my co-host here are going to be talking about a little more on the bounty on the Saints. To me, I find them a 10-win team, if not more. There was some reports that Sean Payton was going to Bill Parcells, ask him to be their interim coach. So that's if they can get him.
Well, yeah. I know, a lot of people don't think, he mentioned that they're gonna do much this year, but they're not really losing much except for Sean Payton, which is a huge loss. They still got their amazing offense, and they did sign Curtis Lofton.
Linebacker, great linebacker. That's a good point.
Yeah, so that shouldn't really affect him.
Yeah, because Jonathan Vilma, though, that's going to affect, because a lot of their defensive players will get punished, most likely from the NFLPA. So with Jonathan Vilma gone, it's a big loss, but hey, they did a great job replacing him with Lofton. But yeah, so the Saints, they got an interesting situation here with that great NFC South.
All right, now let's get back to talking about the draft. Where do you think Louie, where do you think Trent Richardson will end up?
I want to say Cleveland, with the loss of Peyton Hillis. I think they need a running back in there. I think with the Patriots, if they could make a move to trade up, I don't see them doing this, but I see if any team, despite the draft order, I see if the best fit for him with the loss of Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, would probably be Trent Richardson.
Alright, before free agency opened, I had him going to Miami, but now I think they need more than running back right now, so I've got him going to Cleveland. I think he's a great fit there because they lost Peyton Hillis, so yeah. Now, Louie, where do you think Justin Blackman will end up?
Justin Blackman is an interesting situation. I think if he could fall to the Carolina Panthers, I think it'd be a great fit for him there with Cam Newton. But if I had to say, going anywhere, I think it would be with the St. Louis Rams, or maybe even the Minnesota Vikings if they want to take their third overall pick on him. But I think if the Minnesota decides to pass on him, I think he'd be a great fit in the Rams, because with Sam Bradford there, they got to put some weapons around them. They did sign from the Philadelphia Eagles, but yeah, so good points here. Dave, who do you think Quentin Copeland, defensive end from North Carolina, will go?
That's a good one. I've got him going to maybe Miami to help out their defense. They lost Taylor, I believe, this year, linebacker, retiring. So that'll really fill in for them, and it'll help their defense do better.
Okay, well, that is going to do it for us here on NFL Experts. Make sure to look at us on YouTube. We'll have this episode and more up on YouTube at youtube.com/NFLExperts. And thanks for joining us. It was fun talking.
All right, see ya.